Welcome to event number 6 for the team competition here at the Northern California Regionals. We are live at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds. It's day 3. I'm Justin Judkins alongside Cherie Chan, and Cherie, today we find out who is going to the games. So let's talk about teams that are on that bubble, because this workout is crucial for a couple different teams. Who do we need to keep an eye on?
Second, third, fourth place. That's really what we're looking at in this heat. 808 has got the least points with 9. Unless they bomb and get last place, more than likely they're going to California. So our eyes are going to be on Rockland, who's in second. They are only a point away from third, which is Diablo at 20. And then Santa Cruz, CrossFit Santa Cruz, in fourth place with 33 points. This event matters for them. They have got to take home first place finishes in these two workouts, or at least close to it.
Well, and they really have to regroup, because yesterday they were sitting in third, things were looking great, they were rocking, they were rolling, and then their chances to go to the games took a serious blow when they placed 20th in event number 5. So what we want to watch is to see how they regroup, not just mentally, but also physically. And they've got to come in here and attack this workout as if their lives depend on it, because whether they go to the games or not depends on it.
And that's the effect that we see of not having any cuts at these events. They had 20 points added to their total because everybody's still on the field.
Right. Now, this workout is really interesting. It's fun to watch from a spectator point of view. When the athletes, these are teams of 2, one man, one woman, when they hear 3, 2, 1, go, they will complete 50 double unders each, so 100 double unders total. Then they are going to do 50 handstand push-ups as a team. However, while one person is working, the other one is going to be holding a handstand. Then, as a team, they do 50 toes to bar. While one person is working, the other one is hanging from the bar. Then they will do 50 shoulder to overhead with the axle, which is just a fancy way of saying a really thick bar. The men's weight is 160 pounds, the women's weight is 100 pounds. While the one athlete is going shoulder to overhead, the other one is holding that bar in the front rack position. Then both partners will do a walking lunge with the axles in the front rack position, so it's going to be sitting on their shoulders in front of their neck. The man advances first and then the woman, but they both can be moving at the same time. So there's a time cap of 15 minutes. The world record on this event was set by CrossFit New England, 7 minutes and 33 seconds. So there's some interesting aspects, Cherie, to this workout. What makes it so fun to watch as a spectator?
The best part of this workout are the holds. You have to do a hold while your partner is working. And for anybody out there who has done any sort of static hold, these are challenging, unbelievably challenging. Not only do you have to hold a hold, but at the minute that you're done, now you have to go do the exercise, so you're blasted.
2, 1, go!
And event number 6 is underway for the teams. The men are starting in on their 100 double unders, or excuse me, their 50 double unders. The women then have to do 50. So a double under is simply they jump once, but the rope goes under their feet twice. And you mentioned that static hold. I would imagine, Cherie, by the time that these athletes get to the shoulder to overhead with the 160-pound bar or the 100-pound bar, then their shoulders are just going to be blasted because of the handstand push-ups and the hold.
The cumulative effect of this workout is devastating on your stamina and on your shoulders.
All right, we want to make sure that we're keeping an eye on those teams that are on the bubble of going to the games. So in lane number 7 is Rockland CrossFit. In lane number 8 is CrossFit Santa Cruz. And this performance very well could determine whether or not they qualify to go to the games. So the teams are underneath that bar. They're starting in on their handstand push-ups. You notice that Diablo CrossFit is the first one under the wall and starting in on their handstand push-ups. They are in the white shirts.
The whole
looking down the line as looks like most of the men are holding the handstand push-ups at this point. The women are chipping away at 50 handstand push-ups that they must complete as a team.
Both partners need to work in this particular event. So as soon as we see here on the split speed the gentleman finish, the lady has to start the handstand. So they both handstand push-up. They both have to do handstand push-ups. You can't have one team member who just blazes through them.
Right. And you'll notice a lot of teams will actually be communicating together because they got to say, hey, I'm ready. Are you ready? Yeah, let's go ahead and let's do this thing. Now, explain the different techniques. And on the left is CrossFit Santa Cruz. Explain the different techniques in handstand push-ups that we're seeing.
Well, we're kind of seeing two right now. We're seeing a strict to the left and a kipping to the right, and that's really just going to depend on what you're more comfortable with, what you're used to. That strict worked really well right there for Rockland CrossFit, who is the first ones onto the toe to bar.
Okay, Rockland CrossFit on the bar. One partner holds the bar, the other one does toes to bar. And you see she's using a mixed grip right there, but she's chipping away. That's Rockland CrossFit, chipping away at the toes to bar while her partner is hanging from the bar. On the left is CrossFit 808. They're doing the exact same thing. All right, now Rockland partners switch. The man is now working away at the toes to bar while the partner hangs. And this has got to play a factor in the grip.
This is a brilliant grip destroyer. They're both holding, so they're both using the grip, which is going to destroy their shoulder to overhead.
All right, Rockland CrossFit, they're switching more frequently than some of the other teams. We see in the teal shorts, CrossFit 808, and right next to them, Rockland CrossFit, they're switching out a little bit more frequently. This looks like maybe giving the grip a little bit more of a break.
Well, they have trained this before. They've gone ahead and practiced. We know that they probably have a plan. Who's going to do how many?
So in the white on the left is Diablo CrossFit. In the middle, in the teal shirt or teal shorts, black shirt, CrossFit 808, who is currently sitting in first place. Rockland CrossFit next to them in lane 7, and CrossFit Santa Cruz. Man, they are still struggling, and this is what they cannot have happen. They are still struggling with the handstand push-ups, and they're falling farther and farther and farther behind. As that happens, their chances of advancing to the games in July are slipping away. There's our current leaders, CrossFit 808, as they start in on their shoulder to overhead. They must complete 50 reps, shoulder to overhead, and that bar is thick. What kind of a difference does that make whether you're using a thick bar or a thin bar?
Well, it's an axle bar, so it's a larger diameter, which means that you can tell her thumbs are on the other side of the bar there, so she doesn't have to use as much grip. It is extremely difficult to hold the front rack more so than the shoulder to overhead.
And we'll really see that come into play as they start down the field doing their walking lunges. They really have to keep those elbows high in order to keep it in that front rack. If you drop your elbows at all, it has a tendency to roll a lot more than a thinner diameter bar. All right, there is CrossFit Santa Cruz as they are now onto the bar. They're doing their toes to bar, and they have really got to pour it on and make up some ground.
You can tell by the look on that teammate Danielle's face in CrossFit Santa Cruz that is painful to hang on to those holds. And then right away, jump back up and get the next
you don't
rep.
get time to shake it out. They they can't waste a second. They've got to get to those shoulder to overhead as soon as possible. On the right, that is Diablo, or excuse me, on the left, in the white t-shirts, Diablo CrossFit, as they're chipping away at their 50 shoulder to overhead with 160 pounds for the men and 100 pounds for the women. We are now at the 5 minutes and almost 5 minutes and 30-second mark. 15-minute time cap. An unbelievable world record time of 7 minutes and 33 seconds set by CrossFit New England. That is just blazing. We're not going to see that record broken today.
Our three teams, 808, Rockland, and Diablo, they do not want to let go of their lead. They want to go to the games in California, and they're showing why they're in first, second, and third right now in this heat.
Okay, CrossFit Santa Cruz starts in on their shoulder to overhead. It looks like Danielle, the female partner, is starting first. The other partner holding that 160-pound in the front rack position. They take a quick break, shake out the shoulders, and start in. The other partner starts in. All right, CrossFit 808, black shirt, teal shorts. Our current leader right now.
Their shoulders are burning, and look right here, they're communicating. You have to wait until your partner is ready because you do not want to lose reps because your partner either dropped the bar.
Yeah, because a rep doesn't count. If they don't have it in the right position and you start with the shoulder to overhead, then the reps don't count. That's the last thing you want to have happen. 50 is such an intimidating number too when you're looking at this. I know that you get to break it up between the two partners, but man, it just 50 shoulder to overhead, 160 pounds.
It's not a lot by itself. What makes it a lot are those handstand push-ups, those toes to bar, holding all of these isometric holds. That is what makes those 50 devastating.
And we're seeing a tremendous effort on CrossFit 808's part. It looks like they're ready to advance to the walking lunges. So both the man and the woman advance. The man has to start first. He's going to put that in the front rack position and hold that big fat bar in place while he does walking lunges. The real battle, this is CrossFit 808. It looks like they've already locked up their spot to go to the game. The real battle comes to those second, third, fourth places that are right now, because whether or not they go to the games will depend on how they're doing. And this is Diablo CrossFit in the white shirts, and man, they really need to pour it on if they want to stay ahead of this team, CrossFit Santa Cruz.
We also have Rockland CrossFit there starting their lunges. So team 1, team 2, team 3, they're actually heading out right in that as well. They do not want to let go of their placing.
This is exciting. It's going to come down to a race. Who's going to set the bar down first? And Diablo CrossFit is catching up to CrossFit 808. The man was, and then he took a break. So you see what happens when those elbows drop. The bar drops too, so it's really crucial to keep those elbows up high. Rockland CrossFit, he's doing what we call the genie pose, the genie hold.
Most
and it's harder to
importantly
keep
here is
your
that
elbows up.
communication. Yeah, it sure is. But really, it's just the fatigue of the shoulders.
Look at Diablo CrossFit is now passing CrossFit 808. He sets that bar down, and now he's got to cheer on his companion and say, hey, keep going, let's go.
Don't forget, both team members have to cross. So just because we see a man coming first doesn't mean that's who's gonna win.
And that look on his face says it all. There is Diablo CrossFit, and he has passed them in the walking lunges. CrossFit 808 started the walking lunges first. However, Diablo CrossFit has passed them and is extending that lead. If the female part of the partnership can keep up, they will come in ahead of CrossFit 808, and that is going to do wonders for their chances of going to the games.
Take them into second out of third, which is huge.
Yeah, huge. She's got to keep those elbows up and cross that line. Control of the bar. Big smile on her face, but she does have to stand on the red mat, which she does. Unofficial time, 9 minutes, 26 seconds. We still have a huge race for second place. And third place, there's Rockland CrossFit.
They took over 808. They took them over.
They did. They passed CrossFit 808, so they are really struggling now. If CrossFit Santa Cruz wants to make a move, it's got to be now while CrossFit 808 is struggling. Rockland CrossFit comes in second, unofficial time, 9 minutes, 50 seconds. And now you can see CrossFit Santa Cruz is starting in on their walking lunges. They can catch CrossFit 808 if they can just bear down, deal with the pain, and just keep moving, not set that bar down. You see the elbows start to drop and the bar starts to roll forward. It's so thick that it's really hard to keep it in place. You see he's trying to do everything he can to keep it in place.
808 is struggling, and if Santa Cruz has the stamina to hang on, they could pass him.
CrossFit 808 started the walking lunges first. They have now had two teams start behind them, but finish ahead of them. If that happens with CrossFit Santa Cruz on the right, and they're fast approaching CrossFit 808. Of course, CrossFit 808 is only a couple meters away from the finish line. So, man, he just is struggling keeping that bar up.
You can see how that's 100% teamwork right there. 100%. And it looks as though she's going to help him get the bar back up there now.
In the right position. Look at that. He's so tired.
She's got to run now. He's got to hold that.
He can't clean that bar by himself. She runs back, and he is going to get across that line.
He's got to keep it up.
And, oh, no. Oh, wow. CrossFit 808, or CrossFit Santa Cruz, if they can catch him here, that would be huge. And he's struggling cleaning that bar up too.
This goes to show how important it is that all your team members are strong.
Yeah, and it's so thick, you can bet that the grip is gone after doing all of those toes to bar. CrossFit Santa Cruz can really make a move, but he can't hesitate any longer. He just has to go, put the pain aside and keep those elbows high. That back knee does have to touch.
They very
He
well
is
could.
not doing it. He is not doing it. Look at CrossFit Santa Cruz. They are doing it. Oh, so it does count. So they did cross the line. I thought the judge said no, but he did accept it. So CrossFit 808 does finish ahead of CrossFit Santa Cruz. But CrossFit Santa Cruz made up huge ground on him. I thought there for a second he was going to be able to do it. That grip is shot from those toes to bar. And to be able to pick up a heavier, or excuse me, a thicker bar is so much harder after your grip is shot than a thinner diameter.
Not to mention holding a handstand and hanging from a bar, so they're not resting while their partner works. That's really what kills the grip on this lunge.
All right, some of the competitors that are finished over there cheering on other teams, are now cheering on CrossFit Santa Cruz. And wow, hands on the hip, hands on the knees, and he's only a few meters away from the finish line. He is ahead of the next closest competitor, but you've got to remember, 2 other heats have already finished, and so they're battling the times from those other heats. So they can't waste any time. Just because you're ahead of the next closest team doesn't mean that your time is going to be better.
These are points that Santa Cruz did not need. It's going to push them farther away from that third spot.
Unofficial time, 13 minutes, 2 seconds for CrossFit Santa Cruz. They get a congratulations from other team members on other teams, and they've got to be glad that that workout is done. And we see that this thick bar is just giving people fits as they're going down the field of play, doing those walking lunges.
Keep in mind, it's not just that thick bar, it's the cumulative effect of all of it. You take that lunge in the gym by itself and you go do it, none of these athletes would have a difficult time with that. They're having a difficult time with it because of all the stuff they did before it, right in a row.
Well, and not to mention everything that they've done over the past 2 days.
Exactly.
It all takes its toll and it all has its effect.
Exactly.
I love that these team members are going on and cheering on other teams, people that they're competing against.
CrossFit community.
All right, we are now 13 minutes and 57 seconds, 14 minutes into this workout. These athletes have 1 minute left before the time cutoff. And so every placement counts in this overall race to see who is going to go to the games.
All of these teams want to be in the last heat for the final event 7. They're going to fight for their spot to continue to compete against the best.
So Rockland CrossFit, Diablo CrossFit, these teams came in, they did what they needed to do to increase their chances going to the games.
They certainly did. They certainly did. Santa Cruz needed to beat them in order to bump themselves into a game spot. That did not happen. That was paramount.
And CrossFit 808 coming into this event with the lead that they had a 10-point lead, so they could afford to lose a couple spots in this one and still stay in first, and it looks like they will probably do that. We don't have the official results in yet, and you can follow the official results at home at games.crossfit.com. See all the scoring. They update that almost real time.
Depending on how many points they lost in that heat, it could be an extremely exciting event number 7 if they had enough points added to it that now they're close to that second and third.
Exactly. What a finish. I mean, that fat bar just gave CrossFit 808 huge troubles. They started that last portion of the workout, the walking lunges first, but they had 2 teams, Diablo CrossFit and also Rockland CrossFit, actually passed them as they were going down the field of play. That was 90 feet. In 90 feet, doesn't sound like a lot. They had 2 teams pass them, and they gave up crucial points. And let's go down to the field of play. Angel is standing by with our heat winners.
Hey guys, here with Diablo CrossFit. You guys knew coming into this event in that number 3 spot that you had CrossFit ESAT, CrossFit Santa Cruz on your heels, and you stepped it up and made a comeback on those lunges.
Yeah, it was a great grind. I mean, in practice we had to stop 3 times or 2 times, and so I knew we could hold on to that, and just kind of seeing where everybody else is at. It's really important to kind of watch the competition, see where everybody else is at. So we can still save some juice for the next event.
Absolutely. Just before the event, I talked to you guys out there in the holding tank is what we're calling it, and you said that you really look forward to this event because you've worked together as a team. You're going to be able to share some reps, and that all proved to be valuable.
To me, I mean, at Diablo, whether you're on a team, whether you're an individual, whether you're someone who drinks a lot of beer or is a mother, we're a family. And so we all work out together all the time. Whether, you know, I'm a coach, but I take classes still from my fellow friends and coaches. So we call it the RTG, and that's the road to the game. So no matter what level you're at, we're trying to get to the game. So today, yeah, we did it out there because we train together on a daily basis. But it's everyone else in our community that really got us here today.
Awesome, guys. Well, you have one more event to get to that RTG, so rest up.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you.
Cherie and Justin, I think their dance celebration yesterday helped get some of that lactic acid out and got them ready for this event. Back to you.
Hey, whatever it takes. Thank you, Angel. That will conclude our coverage of event number 6 for the teams. For Cherie Chan, I'm Justin Judkins. Thanks for joining us.